Welcome back in. This segment of the Sports Source brought to you by Games and Things, where they offer all kinds of great stuff for your home, make your whole house fun. They can also class up the joint a bit. Imagine a new bar stools over in one area, beautiful new poker table, chairs. They've got the jukebox, which adds an element of fun to the house. It's really neat stuff, not to mention home theater seating that's just top of the line. Games and Things. You can learn more by either going out and visiting them at the corner of Kingston Pike and Lovell Road, or you can check them out online, ourgameroom.com. Okay, guys, you heard David's breakdown in the last segment. Let's say the Saudi PIF approaches Danny White, and they decide, well, we don't want to just make a big show of we're taking your money, but they do open the door to, here, meet our friends at Spire Sports. And it gets done that way, and everybody knows what's going on. What is the well, first, what's your reaction to that? Do you guys have a problem with this or not? With a group with the Saudi history, 19 of the 20 hijackers were from Saudi Arabia. An FBI report showed that the Saudi government helped fund 9/11. You had a Washington Post journalist sawed apart, alive, by the Saudis. Is this the kind of people you want to get in bed with just because, well, it can help us recruit? What's your reaction to this?
Don't like it one bit. And I know, like David said, it may be coming. Look, there was 3 Knoxville families that had relatives die in 9/11. And I talked to some of them, and that's still very, very real to me. And it's taken blood money. And I just don't think college sports, especially at Tennessee, is to the point where we need to do that.
But my other concern, though, is I don't like it, but I'm also buying gas every single day every week to put in my truck, right? So, I mean, we're all giving money to PIF at some point in time, but whenever we buy gas at the pump, that's something that we're doing because they own most of the refineries right now that we use in the United States of America.
In our government, Democrat, Republican, presidents, right on down, nobody seems to care.
No.
They don't mind this. They didn't put up, we went to war with Iraq, not Saudi Arabia. Thoughts? What are would you be okay with this as a journalist, as a person? Would you be okay with it if Tennessee or another school did it?
I wouldn't. First of all, even if it's not directly involved with the public university, it still has the perception of this is giving money to a public. You're funding something that's tied to higher education in America, and from a foreign country. That seems like a problem. So, and on top of all the moral questions that would come with that, that's too far. So professional sports, I can understand it a little bit more. Business is business. This feels a little different because it is tied to higher education.
Vince?
Yeah, I mean, perception is reality. So, it's going to have a bad look and it's going to be criticized even more. And then also we'll hit on it. We don't know the extent. There's probably more things in our everyday lives that the money is going back to us similar to gas.
Wouldn't the fan reaction, though, be like it is in the EPL, which is, hey, we're mad that this is happening. Oh, wait a minute, we have all this money to spend now, and now Newcastle can go get the top players when they couldn't do that beforehand?
See, I think that's what it would be. The reaction would be, if your school does it, it's okay. If the other school does it and your school doesn't, that's horrible. They're taking blood money.
And does it lead to results?
Right.
Yeah, if it does, then everybody, why aren't we doing it?
You're more forgiving.
Or if you're losing recruits to West Virginia because they've got that
then it's an
access,
issue. Right.
Then that does kind of change.
Suddenly your morals go out the window.
Not out the window, but they're kind
Out
of
the
towards the
window.
front door.
Back seat.
Does everybody agree with that? That's kind of the way the fans would be down on it unless it meant you got 4 or 5 stars. And then it's like, okay.
And then it's a game changer. People start going to, like again in soccer, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, other countries, and go to those sovereign wealth funds saying invest with our.
And who knows, guys, when the first shoe falls, who knows what happens after that? If there's somebody that jumps in there first and all of a sudden they've got $50 million. That's what the PGA Tour, that may not be a done deal, but they were $50 million into legal fees. The Saudis had $720 billion at their disposal. And that was what changed all that.
The people with the biggest problem with this would be the conference rivals of the schools that actually did it. If a Mississippi State or someone wanted to take a chance to get become a top program in football, people would be wanting to get them out of the SEC. They don't belong in the SEC with Saudi money. So I think
unless it worked, and then it would be. I just think I think one domino falls, and it works.
Yeah,
I think they all fall.
Yeah,
I agree with that. And then another question that comes to mind is, would that extend the haves and the have-nots, or would that maybe bring everything together? Because some of these other schools maybe that go that direction to kind of make up some of the money
I
grab.
think it brings them together, closer together.
It would be interesting because, I mean, one, why are they investing? Are they trying to normalize themselves in American culture, which means, you know, you get more stuff done politically, you don't get as much backlash over human rights talk. If you're in bed with the U.S. here, well, they're okay. They're with golf. They help fund UT's athletic department. Is that what they're buying? And if so, then are you better off investing in the biggest programs? Does it help you to go invest in West Virginia? Or would they be better off investing in Oklahoma, Ohio State, and Alabama?
Well, where are your business interests? So it's probably in Texas is the best place that you have to, because again, you're not actually going to make a profit off of this. You're investing
DC,
to be, yes.
Would you want Maryland, Virginia?
Yep. Georgetown basketball, something like that, because so many people that work in DC are from Georgetown, you know, went to Georgetown.
the whole
So
thing,
I think that's one place where we could see maybe a foreign entity get
When you
involved.
got that much money, that billions and billions, you got to spend it somewhere, right?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, for people thinking this is nonsense, why are you talking about it?
Well, it's
5 years ago, if somebody said, yeah, the PGA Tour is going to be owned by the Saudis, you'd have said, it's not going to happen. David spoke to a lot of athletic directors across the country. They didn't laugh him out of the room when he brought this up. You
Also,
heard the responses.
remember how UCLA basketball was built with John Wooden? It was laundered cocaine money. So it's not like college athletics doesn't have a long
Bill
history of
Walton just
having.
smoked a little weed, man.
Come on,
He
man.
popped
I
a
think
little
we're-
acid. It
Wow.
wasn't cocaine. Come on.
I don't think it was John Wooden who was actually
Well, he wasn't doing it, but the
laundering it.
booster that gave them the money to be able to get Lou Alcindor and those guys, that was his business, was narcotics.
So who's in the White House? You know?
And David Story mentioned
We
this.
all have to make a living.
David Story mentioned this. The way it could come in is there could be one layer of separation between
Yeah.
the Saudis and the NIL collective that starts it. So it could be a gradual thing that kind of grows and is kind of done under, maybe a little more hidden at first and becomes more public.
No, I was just going to say that could soften the blow to Ryan's point. Yeah.
Vince, Ryan, Will, thank you all for coming in today. I appreciate it. Chuck, hang out with me next. I want to talk about, when we come back, I want to talk about the passing of a Lady Vol legend. Nikki McCrae Benson passed away. We'll remember her next on the Sports Source. Come on back.